What do you want me to tell you about? Oh, all right. My name's Ron Faircloth. I'm 41 ish. Yeah, so somewhere right in there. Let's see, I was born in Key West. Well, I lived there when I was little. And then we moved up here. I imagine it was divorce. Yeah, probably divorce. When my parents got divorced when we were little. And let's see, somewhere in there, right after I got married, actually right after my son died. Do we want to talk about this now? Yeah, let's see. I mean, I started drinking when I was young. For 14. It's probably like everybody else, 13, 14. And, but I mean, from day one, I knew there was just something not right. I didn't know, but there was just something not right with, everybody else having a good time. I'd black out. I mean, from like the first time I drank, I just couldn't quit. All of a sudden you start feeling good and you just go, go, go. And, I mean, that's kind of been the pattern of my life. It's just 100, 110% at everything. And, so it's a good trait with some things, and it's a real bad trait with other things. Let's see. We like I said, I had sporadic drinking problems. I wasn't drinking every day. I wasn't, I did lots of drugs in school. Not lots. I mean, I'm not talking like crack and all that crap, but it's, lots of dope, a little bit of acid, that kind of crap. Yeah, I mean, I assume, experimentation, and I'm like, I like it. I didn't really have any problems with, it's hard to have problems with pot. Even by the time I got out of high school, I wasn't drinking every day. I wasn't even drinking every weekend. But every time I drank, I got in trouble. I had like self-esteem issues and that kind of crap. But when you're drinking, you no longer have that. So I enjoyed it. I got married young to a girl that I dated through high school. Ended up married to her. Let's see, and then so we had our son Jacob, and he died, and I don't think he only lived. I mean, like four 4 days, I think, 4 or 5, and I mean, like I said, man, we were 20, I think, maybe, yeah, 20. And, now we got these huge decisions. Do you want to put him through these surgeries? He's not going to make it through it. His chances are slim. And then we're like, oh, you don't want him to suffer. You don't want him to suffer. And so it became our choice whether or not we wanted to put him through these surgeries. The doctors convinced us that it was just best not to do this to him. So he didn't. So he died at the hospital. And that was, at that time, that was the worst my drinking ever got. I was just angry. I mean, I was always kind of angry, but now I was real angry. And, so you try to bury it and cover it up, and I evidently didn't have the best coping mechanisms. So that's what I did. Well, I mean, it was a dark time, man. We never dealt with it, either of us. And, yeah. I hit 21 years old. I'd been kicked out of most of the bars in our little town. And just not because I'm a badass, I was just an idiot. Well, you just being in trouble, peeing on the floor, that kind of stuff. It's, I always made a party of it, but it was stupid stuff. I just didn't care, and I was a jerk. And cool thing was I wouldn't remember it, which should be kind of shameful when people start telling you, but I just really cared. Like, I was drunk. I just thought I was having a good time. I realized I was getting in trouble and stuff. My mom was always on me about quitting drinking. They forced me into, it was called SHARE. At the time, it was the SHARE program. It was basically intensive outpatient alcohol and drug rehabilitation. I wanted to quit. I was having a hard time with it. I got a hard time saying no. They were sitting in like my second day of treatment, and she said, she goes, 1 in 10 of you, or yeah, 1 out of 10 of you will only 1 out of 10 of you will make it a year sober. I just looked around and I said, you guys are fucked, because I believe it's going to be me. It turns out it was. I mean, I was sober for, man, 18 years. And I decided to do some. All of a sudden, I had all this extra energy. Instead of drinking, I started lifting weights. All right? And I thought, hey, man, I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to be a bodybuilder. At my biggest, I made it up to 250 pounds. I mean, I was swolled up, gross looking. I mean, I didn't think I was gross looking, but I got to be from 21 to 27. I mean, that's all I did was lift weights, lift weights, lift weights, get done with work, lift weights, lift weights. And big part of my marriage downfall was, I mean, that's what I did. I got off, I get off work, I go to the gym, lift weights. I wouldn't get home until 8 o'clock at night, and then my wife's got 3 kids at home, little ones, and I'm just doing my thing. Oh, but okay, now I forgot where I was. Oh, I had a buddy, Pat. He comes in and he says, hey, Ron, he goes, you remember, when the UFC do, I found a place we can do that. It was the early UFC, the Tank Abbott crap where he just, and man, I thought about doing it and it scared me. And that's the first time ever that I started. When I saw something that scared me, I pushed myself towards it. I figured, it's fear. I want to conquer this. And I did. I wanted to do it one time. All right? One time he said, yep, I'll help you. I did the first time. Won. I said, Pat, do you think we can do this again? And I spent, 13 years ish as a fighter. I think the last 5 of them were, that's all I had to do. I didn't have to lay I'm a block layer by trade, but then there was a time when that's what I was. I was a fighter. I was not the best fighter, but I knew I could get punched in the face. From the time I was a little kid, I knew, man, I can take a punch. It don't hurt that bad. And once you get over that fear, what do you got to worry about? Man, so from a guy that wanted to do it one time, I think I fought a total of 62 fights. And let's see, my last few years of fighting, I went to my doctor. I said, Doc, I want to keep fighting. I need to get my neck fixed. And my shoulder had to get, I ripped off my bicep once. I had to get both my shoulders rebuilt, broke this arm, that kind of crap. You just take a toll, man. It's like trauma, like you've been in a car accident. But, it just builds up over time. He goes, we're going to get you on some painkillers. And then we're gonna work on your problems. And this was the plan. And I really wanted to just keep fighting. It was just my favorite thing in the world to do. And so we got on Vicodin. Worked perfect. I had Vicodin every day. Pretty soon, so I go to pick up my gigantic, bottle of Vicodin with the shoulder straps on it. And the pharmacist says, we got to get you off this. That acetaminophen in it is going to kill you. So they take you from that to oxys, and then stuff started to go a little, Vicodin makes you feel good. Oxys make you feel like magic. But over time, it went from, I want to keep fighting to, I want to keep getting more painkillers, And my doctor said, he goes, Ron, if you run out of these early, you're going to not feel good. And then I run out early because by this time I'm abusing pretty bad, you're sick. And he said not feel good, and that's drug sick. So you run out of painkillers. If you don't have money to buy painkillers, which is real expensive, heroin does the same thing. Makes you feel, well, it's all right. So then it's heroin. And then it's, no, we ain't got money for heroin. Well, we'll just go in and me and my buddy, we just kind of well, we just going to take the drugs. And, you know, and I don't know, we did some less, you know, very colorful things. It, like I said, anything to not be sick. You're, oh man, you're like, oh Jesus, man, you feel like a bag of hammered shit. You can't move, you can't sleep, you can't. That's the words. You can't sleep, and you're. Oh man, I don't even know how to explain it. By this time, I wanted to get clean. I went to the place, and just, I mean, I stayed in bed for the first 3 days. You're in inpatient treatment. It's like a protective bubble of people that love you. I just didn't want to leave, man. It's you're safe yet. All of a sudden now you don't want to go home and deal with the problem because you know as soon as you get out, well, you've been in here. We haven't made any money in a month. We got these problems. My wife wouldn't come see me. Well, finally I left, and I was sober. You know, I was clean. I was off the drugs. I was back. So now I'm back to this pain and all this crap. And I got home, and we never recovered. She all of a sudden saw, well, she's okay without me there, you know, and things went downhill. And yeah, you know, I still wasn't making enough money, so I got this awesome job coaching in Green Bay, and what seemed like an awesome job. They moved us into one of their extra houses with the coaches, like two of the other coaches, and the fighters had come over, you know, because it was real close to the gym, and they get together, and you know, they're younger guys and drinking all the time. I remember drinking, didn't have a problem with it, you know, and I got buzzed up and felt good, you know. It's like I said, I didn't even remember what it felt like to drink, and so, like I said, I knew better, but it was like I didn't even think about it. I just didn't want to feel the way I felt. I didn't want to face the things I had to face. Man, I went from that to I was drunk every day for just about 5 years. I mean, every day. And I said, this is not how I drank then. It was so much worse. They said I was drunk every day. I was driving drunk. I was driving drunk with my girlfriend's daughter. I was, you know, in the car, and you know, just hiding. I was having a lot of mental problems. You know, so it's all this and obsession issues. Where I mean, I was having some bad mental problems. I felt like I had something in my throat, and so you're sitting there, and that's all I can think about is, oh my God, what is this? What is this? What do I have in my throat? And I mean, it's got to be so bad, and this is all I can think about. You know, it's the middle of the night, and I got this thing in my throat. I'm gonna throw myself out the fucking window. Honestly, I was so scared and convinced I was gonna die, and that, you know, this is actually even before I started drinking. That oh man, and I'm having these problems, so just more drinking. You know, I can cover this up. I can cover that up. Well, it's making it worse. I'm drinking so much that I'm seeing shit. I'm hearing things, and I don't know if it's the drinking or if it's my head. So I went from drinking after training people to drinking while I'm training people. I just go in their office and hit the bottle, come back out, and think people don't notice. You know, I mean, we're working jiu-jitsu on the ground, we're working wrestling, and so you're right here with them. And I think, you know, they don't know, they don't know. Yeah, well, there starts to be complaints. And I don't remember exactly what the what the breaking point was, but I was drunk at work and they had to fire me. Oh no, yeah, no, I remember I tried to stab another one of the coaches at the house, and he had some liquor in his room, and I was at home and he was not, and I evidently went in and took it. So I heard that he was blaming me for stealing his liquor, and called him up and I said, "Hey man, we need to talk about this." By the time he got home, I was so drunk that, like I said, it was. I mean, I was cutting up an apple or something, and I'm cutting up this apple, and we're talking, and pretty soon I'm just chasing him around with a freaking knife. And I mean, I did that when I was younger with my dad. Fucking stabbed him in the hand, fuck. And now I'm, shit, when I was 40, and I'm chasing this kid around that for no reason, because he's blaming me for something I did, and he never said anything to me. I called and asked him, and I called the police. So I'm in jail in Brown County, and come out of there, and I got no job. You know, uh, you got. So basically, everything in my life, I was starting to lose. Excuse me a second. And I got a cousin, Billy Carter. So I called Billy up and said, "Billy, please get me a job on a boat for stone crab season." He got me a job. And so I packed up my girlfriend and pretty much everything I could pack into my car. It's amazing the crap I had left in Green Bay. I mean, all my belts, my fighting memorabilia I had in the gym. I mean, some really cool stuff that you gained over a career of fighting. And I mean, some great stuff. I mean, stuff that I really held. I just liked it. I earned this stuff, and didn't have room for it when I left. Didn't have any place to put it. Had to leave it, and we just went down Key West. This would have been the perfect move for me had I not been drinking. I decided, we started work, I think, some days like 3 o'clock in the morning. This particular day, I think it was 5:30, but so I figure I can get up in the morning, get up a little early, I'll run to the gas station, picking up a couple of these Four Loko things, and I just get drunk before work. And this is my mindset. This is what I think is appropriate. I just want to be drunk. So I go to the gas station early in the morning, and I'm driving drunk, and I hit this van at a stoplight, and pretty much totaled my car. And basically all I did, I backed up, pulled around him, and went home. Well, somebody else saw it, it was a stoplight. So they just followed me, watched me park. And I just go in the house. And pretty soon the cops show up. They're like, "Sir, we need you to come with us." They're trying to identify me. They never saw me. So they saw the car. I said, "Man, one of these Haitian kids." They take me down there. I'm passed out in the back of the cop car. And there, I didn't realize that's what they're doing. It's like trying to identify me. And had he identified me, I can imagine, how long I'd be in jail. My girlfriend and I got screwed up. We got another baby. Like just about a year old now. Actually, Wednesday is his birthday. And actually, the little girl you met, they have the same birthday. How do you even plan that, man? But things are just getting better. Finally, it's starting to take, man. Like I said, I have the skills to stay sober. It's just a commitment in my mind. I have to focus on my sobriety. I have to be proud of my sobriety, and I have to fill in my sober time. And that's when I started just doing stuff. I'm sick of wallowing in grief, and feeling bad for myself and all the things the world did to me. And that's not how I made it to where I was. You don't make it anywhere thinking like that. I don't know. I got about a weekend now, and hopefully it works. Yeah, I believe it will. So that's it.